Hi everybody, I'm back again with a few more filler videos until my next Hot Toys figure comes. This time what I thought I'd do is show you some of the board games that I'm playing, but I'm not going to show you the game itself or how it's played unless you really want me to show you that. I might do some at a later date. Thought what I'd do is show you the little miniatures that come with these games, but instead of the unpainted ones that come in the box, I've gone onto eBay and replaced them all with the painted figures. So the first game I'm going to show you is Castle Ravenloft. It's one of the Dungeons and Dragons games by Wizards of the Coast. They've made 3 of these. They've got Castle Ravenloft, Legend of Drizzt and Wrath of Ashardalon. I've got both of those as well, and I will do a video on the figures on those. So what I'll do is I'll show you the painted figures and the names that the actual names that they're called. So if you want to do the same as me, just go onto eBay, type in that name and that figure should come up. So the first one I'm going to show you is this guy. This is the main villain. This is Count Strahd von Zarovich. I presume that's how you pronounce it. And here is the painted figure. These are all from the D&D miniature lines. It's not exactly brilliant, but it does enhance the game a lot more. I suppose you could paint them yourself. I don't have the time to do that, unfortunately, so I've been out and bought these figures. Be aware though, if you're going to do this, it is quite costly. It can cost. They're only very small figures, but the price soon mounts up. So there's the count. The next one, if I flip the card over, is the big baddie. This is the Dracolich. And here we have the painted Dracolich. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you what the name was of this guy. I do apologise. The actual name of this one is the Vampire Visor. That's V-I-Z-I-E-R. So Vampire Visor, if you want to get that one. Dracolich. Here's the painted Dracolich. Bit better done because it's obviously bigger, so they can put a little bit more into it. This is obviously going to be the most expensive one out of all the figures from this set to get, and it's one of the hardest ones to find. And the name of this one is exactly the same. It's the Dracolich. Okay, next one up is the Werewolf. It doesn't appear a lot in the game. And here is the painted figure. Not bad. I suppose you could, if you're not very good at painting, get someone to do them for you as a commission paint. It might work out cheaper actually than buying the whole lot, again like I did. And the name for the Werewolf was exactly the same. It is just the Werewolf. There's several different types of these, but this is the actual, all the figures I'm showing you are the actual ones that come with the game. If I flip the card round, the next one we have the Howling Hag. And here is the Howling Hag painted figure. So all from the D&D line. There's only one of the figures from this game that isn't from the D&D line, but I'll explain that to you when I get to it. And this is Howling Hag is the actual name that you have to put in on the search to get this one as well. It's exactly the same name. So that's not bad. Next figure is the Kobold Sorcerer. That's his card. And here is the painted miniature. It's a lot smaller than the others, but it's not badly done. And the actual name for that, I believe, is the same, Kobold Sorcerer. It's exactly the same one. The names are similar for the painted figures, but there is a slight variation in some of them. Next we have the Flesh Golem, which is another one of the bigger figures, and here he is in all his glory. Again, not too bad a paint job. I could probably paint these a lot better myself, but as I say, I don't have time to do it. I might touch up some of these, actually, repaint over them to make them a bit better, and use this just as the base coat. But the name of the Flesh Golem is the Berserk Flesh Golem. They do come from a series. You got like Against the Monsters and things like that, but I'm just giving you the actual name of the figure itself. So there's the Flesh Golem. And next we have the Zombie Dragon. This is a smaller dragon that's in the game, so here he is, all painted up. Again, not bad. And this is called the Zombie White Dragon. It's the actual name of this painted figure. Okay, now we're going to start with the heroes. So the first one is this one. This is Thorgrim, the Dwarf Cleric. This was the hardest one to find that I had, that I found was the hardest one to find. And here he is. This was the last figure that I got. And the actual name of this figure, I've got them all written down, I'm just trying to read them off here, is the Dwarf Cleric. And he is a Dwarf Cleric, so if you type in Dwarf Cleric, hopefully if there are some on eBay, this is the one that will come up. Next we have Arjun, the Dragonborn Fighter. Now this one, there's several different types of these figures, but this is the one that I picked. I thought this was a better one. It's a better painted one than some of the others that are out there. But this is the one most people want to play when they're playing the game, because he just looks cool. And he is actually called a Dragonborn Fighter. Sorry for this shoddy camera work. Next one we have Emeril the Wizard. And this was the first one that I got. The paint job on this one isn't very good. I might touch him up. I've seen loads of these ones on eBay. Again, these are exactly the same as the unpainted figures that come with the box. There's only one figure, I think, I'm probably repeating myself, one figure that isn't exactly the same as the one that came in the box, and I'll get to that one in a minute. And this one, if you want him, is the Eladrin, the Pyromancer. Next we have Cat, the Human Rogue, and here she is in her painted form. Again, just want to repeat that these are not painted by me, these are the pre-painted D&D figures that are readily available. And this is Shan Cutthroat, is the name of this figure. And finally for the heroes, now this one there isn't, I haven't found a miniature from the D&D line for this one. This is Elisa, the Human Ranger. So what I've had to do is I've had to improvise, and I bought a Reaper miniature, and this is the Reaper miniature that I got. Because the figure that comes with the box is a woman with 2 swords, that's what I look for, and this is the one that I got. So you'll have to make up your own figure for that one, unless they release one soon. So that's it for the heroes, and now we have the rest of the villains. This is the Hypnotic Spirit, and this is the figure in its painted form. Now there's 3, all the figures I'm going to show you now, there's 3 of each in the box. You don't have to go out and buy 3 of each, you can just buy the 1, but I bought 3 of each. And the name of this one is actually the Cursed Spirit. Next we have the Zombie, and here he is. When it focuses, there you go. This is a zombie, and this is called the Terror White. So you have to type that name in if you want to get this figure. Next we have the Wolf. Not a great deal of detail on this because it's all really one colour, and this is the I believe it's the Warg in the D&D line. Next we have the Blazing Skeleton, and here he is. Figure that comes with the box, this is all blue, so you can't really see the skeleton itself, so it is a good idea to get a painted one. And the actual name is the same, this is the Blazing Skeleton. Next we have the Gargoyle. Here's the Gargoyle. And the actual name of the Gargoyle is the Earth Element Gargoyle. Now we have the crappiest one of the lot. This is the Rat Swarm. Not a lot to show on this really. You can buy bigger ones than this if you wish, with a lot more detail on, which is what I might do at a later stage. And that is just the Rat Swarm, exactly the same. There's the name on the bottom. They do have little numbers, as obviously in this series, according to this, there's 40 figures in this series, and this is number 20, so they're all like that. Next we have the Wraith, and here he is painted. And the actual name for the Wraith is the Lurking Wraith. Here we have the Ghoul and the painted equivalent, chewing on an arm. I say it is a bit of an amateurish sort of paint job, but when you've got them on the board and you're playing them, it does make a hell of a lot of difference, trust me. And the Ghoul is called the Grave Touched Ghoul. Again, there's 3 of them. Next we have the Kobold Skirmisher, which is probably the, apart from the Rat Swarm, the smallest miniature in the game. And here we have him. This guy does appear in the other games in this series, and you'll see them when I do videos of those. And this, the actual Kobold Skirmisher, is called the Kobold Soldier. Just 2 left now. Here we have the spider, and here he is painted up. Again, not a lot on him really, but to say it just enhances the game. And the name of this is the Death Trap Spider. Loads of them on eBay. I think you're probably looking for these smaller figures $2–3 each. There's the last one is the skeleton, and here he is painted up. What I might do at some stage is use my Dwarf and Forge stuff to play this game, and my Games Workshop figures, I think, is what I'm ultimately going for. But it's a lot quicker just if you're going to play with a family, just to set the board game up and use the board game. But that's what my goal is eventually, to do it like that. And the name of this figure, if you want him, is just the Warrior Skeleton. So there you go. There's all the painted figures from this really cool board game. It's great fun to play. Probably takes, depending on the scenario you're playing, anything from 1 to 2 hours to play it. It's quite hard to win as well, so you're not always guaranteed a win, which is what I like. Gives you a bit of a challenge. Now, if you saw my Zombicide game series of videos that I did a little while ago, I am getting painted figures for that. I'm bidding on eBay at the moment for the exclusive figures, the 3 special survivors that didn't come with the game. I'm bidding on a painted version of those, and I'm going to get all the other figures with that game all painted up, and hopefully as soon as I've done that, I will put another video of that online, probably with the game being played. It won't be as crap as the last set of videos I've done, because I thought they were very amateurish the way I did them. Looking back at them, there's loads of mistakes, the camera work was awful, so I'm hoping to rectify that when I play that one again. So that's something to look forward to if you like the Zombicide game. So until my next video, which will probably be the figures from Legend of Drizzt, another D&D game. This is me signing out. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you guys later.